Yeah. What's going on, Guardians? It's Lethal Carebear here again with another Destiny 2 video today. This was kind of unexpected. I was working on a few other videos and decided to take a quick break. And I wanted to go and try and do the Pit of Heresy dungeon, which was the pinnacle for this week. I ended up going flawless, which was completely unintentional. But there we are. I thought I'd upload it anyway and maybe do like a quick guide on it and just what I was thinking at the time of doing it. So yeah, just very quickly guys, thank you very much for the support that you've been giving me on a few videos lately. I appreciate it immensely. It's amazing to me that I've even managed to get this far, and some of you just make it worth it, so thank you very much. But yeah, here we are. First part of this is fairly simple. You jump down into this little chasm area, you find one of these little rooms where a sword bearer will be, and there'll be 3 symbols above him. These 3 symbols point towards where one of 3 bosses will be, and you need to go and kill all 3 bosses at these places. The symbols are random each time you go in, and they're dotted around the chasm. You'll see like big floaty orb things that point towards where they are. You just got to sort of memorize which ones they are. Everyone has their own way of memorizing them. For me, I think it was paperclip on a table, sandwich, and another paperclip squished together with another paperclip. I don't know. That's just how I remember it. The first one here is the wizard. Again, my intention wasn't coming in here to do this flawless. I was just doing this just to do this, just to take a break from doing other things. So yeah, you just use your heavy attack with the sword to take down the wizard. It's fairly simple. I'm just trying to dodge the attacks using the pillars to keep me safe. Basically, that's all it is. So once you're done with one room, normally it means your sword is pretty much depleted, so you get a new one. There are sword bearers that will be dotted around the entire arena, just on the bridges or in the rooms and stuff. You just got to run around and find them. There's a little bit of faff around with that. This one decided to drop his sword off the side, but I think it managed to survive, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, just do that, pick up the next one, and just head to the next symbol. This one would be sandwich. Shrieker's fairly simple. You just run in there with a sword, obviously, and then just block, and the projectiles will bounce back and take it down. There's 2 ogres in here as well, which make things really annoying, but as long as you're blocking with the sword, basically nothing can touch you, so you are more or less invincible in this area, unless an ogre comes up and punches you like he just did. And then the final one in this area is the Hive Knight. He just gets taken down with light attacks, so just your normal swing. The sword super will also work against him quite nicely, so if you can build it up beforehand, especially with the amount of thrall that are around him, yeah. Just smack him down and he gone. As soon as you're done here, that's the end, so you need to find the exit. The exit's normally pretty easy to find. It's just a big glowing green light in the sky. I normally do this anyway, just use the sword to swing yourself across the chasm to it. It's the easiest method of transportation. I think this is the most relaxed I've ever been while talking into a mic. I don't know if that comes across well, but there you go. Kill the enemies outside this door and the door will open and you just go inside. Again, at this point, flawless wasn't even on my mind. It was, I'm just killing shit at this at this particular moment. I'm just doing it. Alright, I did spend a fair bit of time in this area, so there's a few cuts. Don't worry, I didn't restart or anything. This is definitely all in one run. But it was a lot of sitting around waiting for the ogres to move their butts. It's basically in this area, there's going to be 3 groups of these enemies just around the area a little bit. There's going to be Acolytes, Thrall, and this Knight. Kill the Knight and it drops a Void Orb. And you need to take the Void Orb and drop it into the little deposit box thing at the other end of one of these tunnels. And blocking the way is a invulnerable ogre boy. He is big and mean and will kill you very fast if you step in his way, and you cannot kill him. He's good. He's lovely, Mr. Ogre Boy. There's 3 of them. At least I think there's 3 of them. There's 1 in each sort of tunnel, and there's 3 orbs for you to you can throw grenades while you have the orb, and if you use the orb to punch, it will blind the enemies that you hit. I don't really try it on the ogres, so I don't really know if it blinds them. I'd be kind of interested. Next time I'm in here, I might try it again. But no, it's otherwise pretty simple. Just wait until they move, then just dash along using the melee button. Just melee to punch yourself a bit forward. Get to this little deposit box, drop it in, and rinse and repeat 2 more times. So you've got to go back out there and find it. I was lucky, they were kind of like right there for me straight away, so I didn't really have to go around and look. Normally they're not like that though, so you do have to go and look for them a little bit. I should have clarified right at the very beginning, I ain't no PvE god, okay? I am not good at this. This is why I don't normally do solo content or raids in general. So for me to just come ahead and do this was quite an amazement. I just wasn't expecting this to happen at all. Dungeon's not really the hardest dungeon out of all of them. There's definitely worse. I had to use this here. There was no way I could get out of this area without him murdering me. I'm just trying to blow up the hole behind him so I can get around, but yeah, I've got this one instead. But yeah, no, I don't try to do solo flawless runs on any of them. I've soloed only a few of the dungeons, and I don't care for it too much. It's quite, yeah, mind-numbing. But I'm going to try and do the other ones, I guess, because now I think I can do it, so this confidence inside me has just sort of like exploded, and now clearly I can take on the entire world, so this is what's going to happen. Don't know if this is more of a guide, tutorial, or ramblings of a madman just speaking into a mic while he just sits here calmly. Well, I think it's a combination of all 3. Anyway, this is the in my opinion, the hardest part of this entire dungeon. I heard him coming behind me very quickly. I had to get in. Like I was gonna die. There will be a raid ban, I think, somewhere, so you definitely need that. What I did in preparation for this area, I'll explain it in a minute, but I swapped over to a healing grenade instead of my fusion grenades. Trust me. So basically in this area, totem here, you need to stand on it. There's going to be a knight that spawns middle, left and right, and you just need to kill one of them to go get the orb. Go get the orb, bring it back here, and there's a deposit box behind me where you drop it in. I think you do it about 5 times, I think it is. I just shot it there. The knight respawns, so you just have to, you don't really need to kill all of them, it's just wait for the other one to spawn back anyway. What I'm going to say is if you are tempted to do this flawlessly, just take your time, okay? There's no rush, there's no wipe timer, there's nothing like that, okay? You take your time. Not everyone is a god at this sort of stuff, so yeah. Anyway, healing grenade, healing rift, and well of radiance, as well as wither horde. And I forget what the name of the mod is called. I think it's on your chest piece. But basically you pick up an orb and it refreshes your health. Very useful. So I had kinetic siphon, kinetic siphon and solar siphon to generate orbs for myself, so I could keep doing it. And obviously I've got volatile flow on, or whatever the artifact mod is called, and I'm using my retrofit here. Sorry, I just brain freeze right there. Yeah, so this took me a time, so it is literally just rinse and repeat the same thing until you've completed the area. So I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit now. Just whenever you dunk an orb, you'll get a million thrall coming at you. So I tend to fire a wither horde shot at the floor. Normally that takes care of most of them. There is a few cursed thrall as well, so definitely throwing down that well of radiance made it so that I didn't have to worry about them because they couldn't kill me. You get those boomer knights that spawn up at the top, they need to die, okay? Because even if you are standing in a well of radiance, you will die, so they need to die. My loadout is not optimized at all here. Like I've said several times, I was not expecting this, okay? So there is plenty of different things that I could potentially do differently here. Maybe a precision weapon, but at the same time, I'm thinking, everything's shooting you, there's a lot of flinch there, so whether or not that would be a great idea, I don't know, but hey, I'm not one to judge if you're gonna go for it. I genuinely had to take a little breather here. Like I had to walk away for a moment just to come to the realization that, oh my god, I just did that. So this next section, just shoot the fucking big thing. I hate this section with a passion. Um, so I'm quite amazed that I managed to get through this entire thing without dying. Because I always die here. Uh, my only advice here is to take your time, plan it out. Just know that there's ledges to land on. Just take your time. There you go. When you do get to the bottom, there's basically this whole area. There's 3 wizards in the area. You need to go around and you need to kill them. It's dark. There's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of jumping. Just take your time. There are symbols that tell you where they are, but I've never bothered to learn exactly where that means, so I don't pay attention to that. Basically, the way I do it, run around until you see some red markers on your minimap, and when you do, just head in that direction. There you go. Just head in that direction, and you'll find them. Kill them, then there's going to be a little exit somewhere that you make your way to. I'll point it out when we get there, and yeah. That'd be the exit. There will be 3 symbols above it, and then when you've killed a wizard, one of the symbols will disappear. So I don't really know which symbols are which, so don't paying attention to it. This is me thinking that I could be smart and just take a indirect route around the entire area. Nope. It's closed off. Jim, that's closed off. I think it was around about this moment where it clicked. I think it was around this moment here where it clicked in my head that I hadn't died yet. And this is where I started to get like really cautious about where I was jumping and running off and stuff. Because I've farmed the boss before on checkpoints and stuff, and I know I can do the boss without dying because I've done it several times before. It's just the rest of the dungeon where I always die. So knowing that I hadn't died at this point, I was like, okay, hold on a minute here. I can do this. This is why I'm standing over here. I'm like, I ain't even risking walking over here. Anything could push me off at any moment. I am not walking. There will be timestamps, guys, if you do want to just skip forward. There isn't really anything interesting in these particular parts. It's me just killing these wizards and moving on. There's no mindset going into this. It was just do it. There's three different pillar castle things on each sort of side in a triangle. Basically, it's the exact same thing as you did right at the very beginning. So you got the knight, the shrieker, and the wizard. You go in, you kill the sword bearer, and you go and kill them. And they'll drop an orb. And you'll take the orb and deposit it in one of the deposit things in the center of the arena. Once you've done all three, you can step into the center to do damage to the boss. You have to be in the center to be able to do damage to him. Otherwise, he will just stay immune. So you have that. And you have a set amount of time in which to do it, a good amount of time to get it sorted. And then he'll do some sort of like sword wipe thing, which if you are still standing in the middle will just kill you immediately. So there is that to think about. Hello Rex, you're online. Yeah. Basically all I did there was I went to the Shrieker to do it first, just to kill him. I didn't pick up the orb afterwards, mainly because the sword had been charged super, so I went and used it against him rather than waste the sword, because I knew I could just go and do some quick damage to him. The orb does disappear, but once you've killed all of them, all three of them just respawn, so the orb's not the bosses. But again, there's no time limit during this whole part. It's just so much easier to just take your time Also, I find it a lot easier to wait for the super on the sword to deal with him, mainly because in this particular arena when you're fighting him, I have a tendency to fly off the side when hitting him with the sword, because it's not great tracking. So I always tend to just sort of run around a little bit, get the super, and then use that on him, and then maybe finish him off with a few light attacks. Yeah, just there, the combination of fusion grenade with a horde made the sword bearer just go whoop off the side. So I'm like, shit, what am I supposed to do now? I was like, oh, please don't tell me I've just ruined this for myself. It's alright, they do spawn back. I did quickly run up here to the Shrieker just to see if the orb was there or anything like that, just to see if they'd spawn back, and then I turned around and there he was. So, yeah. Oh, my mind was just like, oh my god, please. Out of all the times that I've done this as well, out of all the times that I've done this dungeon, this has to be the smoothest I have ever done this dungeon. And that's not just because I've done flawless now, it's because, well, I don't know why, it's just, this part in particular, like when I'm doing this, the sword hits always seem to hit the stairs. Like, they never hit the wizard, they just hit the stairs, and I have to do something weird, like this jumping thing. Like, that's happened every single time, but this time, no, they're gonna go on target, they are. I had no real plan about just putting them in any of them, I was just doing it anyway. There you go, so all the orbs spawn back after you've dunked the second one and the third one's disappeared, so you've got them all. But the other two will disappear as soon as you drop this one in. And then this will be damage phase, so it's the good, you know, tried and true Starfire Protocol fucking thing. My rotation for this is not good. I am not good at this at all. And should I have put a rocket on? Probably. But my retrofit is my baby at the minute with 4 times the time on target lock. Extra 40% damage when it kicks in. It's pretty good, but then again, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like doing all these weird swaps and stuff like the Witherhorde and stuff and getting my rotation really wrong. So maybe a fucking rocket would be better off. You gotta think about these things, don't you? There you go, and then I just got out of there. Could I have one-phased him? Probably, if I had done the right rotation, had a rocket on instead, and all the nonsense that I could have possibly done. Yes, probably. But hey, I'd rather be safe than sorry, and that is exactly what I was thinking at this particular moment. Anyway, I've rambled along long enough. I'm just going to let this play out now. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. If you like this content, then like the video. If you want to see some more, then subscribe. And regardless of any of that, I'm going to do this more. I've got a taste for this now, and I kind of want to try and go flawless on a few of the other dungeons. I've done a few dungeons solo already, I just haven't flawlessly done them, so I've got a taste for it now and I want to do it. So, but other than that, there's a few other videos, a few other small guides I want to try and make in the next coming week. Nothing major, just a few extra bits that I feel like other content creators might miss out on, especially those concerning newer players, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.